Okay, everybody, welcome back to another reaction video. This video I'm gonna react to a famous guy who's freaking hilarious. He basically criticizes a lot of movies and TV shows and things on media today and stuff like that, and movie theaters, and how movies are and shit. But this guy's hilarious. Okay, I love listening to this guy, and this is gonna be my first time reacting to his videos. And this is about Godzilla minus one, and I haven't seen Godzilla minus one yet. I'm dying to see this movie, but yeah, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I want to see what he has to say. So here we go. Roll it. What's up with it?
Redemption really can come from the most unlikely of places. After spending most of the year wading through the bloated, preachy, creatively bankrupt dregs of Western cinema, Napoleon was my last big hope for a truly good movie to round out an otherwise crushingly depressing 2023. And when that film missed the mark in spectacular fashion, I was pretty much resigned to the fact that this is likely to go down as one of the worst years in entertainment since James Corden decided he could sing.
To drop in for a drink at the drum.
Then along came a low-budget monster movie from Japan that politely introduced itself and said, "Hey, fancy another Godzilla film?" Not really, I thought to myself, after experiencing the cinematic equivalent of a massive child smashing their toys together for 3 entire movies, plus whatever the hell Skull Island was
Right. Yeah. What
supposed
the
to
fuck? Dude,
be.
what
I
is
was
wrong with this shit?
thoroughly
It's pissing me off. Alright, we're probably gonna have to do lesser quality. Alright, here we go. Let's hope that rolls.
out by that point. But hey, it's December, so what else am I gonna watch? Aquaman 2? So, I sat down with my bucket of popcorn and my pint of rum, and by golly, I haven't been this entertained since my granddad got his beard caught in the food blender. Godzilla minus one may just be my favourite film of the entire year. A perfect blend of serious and reflective character drama, potent war movie, and gloriously destructive monster flick that manages to perfectly incorporate all 3 elements into a concise 2-hour runtime, and does it all on a budget that's barely half of a single episode of She-Hulk.
Almost tasted that. Num num num.
No.
Eat it up. Go play. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
You know I'm the hottest. You ain't never got a heat.
Godzilla minus one is a great example of a dedicated, passionate team of creatives managing to do a lot with very little, putting a refreshing new spin on a monster franchise that's had more installments than the MCU, and telling a story so universal that it resonates with Western audiences just as well as those in Japan. Hollywood studios could only dream about this level of creative efficiency. The movie begins in the dying days of World War II. Japan's now in full retreat and having to resort to kamikaze pilots to try to slow the American advance, one of which happens to be our main man, Koichi Shikishima. As it turns out though, Koichi's not too keen on the whole dying thing and
Yeah, that's actually what Godzilla minus one is. It's like a reboot. It's like a reboot of the original 54 version, or 55. I think the Japanese version came out, of course, first in 54, and then the American version was like, it was redone in order to fit in an American actor and stuff like that. So to put it in American movies, they changed it up a little bit. So it's not exactly the same when you watch the original one, Godzilla King of the Monsters. You gotta watch the original one, the Japanese original one, where you see exactly what really happened. So this movie's basically a reboot, and that's why I want to see it so bad too, because the first original classic one in black and white, was really freaking good. It was so good and very, very well thought of. The acting wasn't perfect, but there was good acting there. There kind of was, and yeah, it was a really freaking good movie. It was done very well. So this is like a reboot of that, and even better because now they're using today's modern technology to do it. And the new design too of Godzilla kind of resembles the classic Godzilla a little bit. How his arms look, they're a little smaller and things like that. But yeah, this movie looks. I'm seeing the clips here that he's showing, and I'm like, man, I gotta see this. It looks so good. If you've seen this, let me know how good it was. Don't tell me anything, but just tell me how good it was.
Instead lands his plane on a small island, claiming mechanical problems. Yeah, like, I totally wanted to blow myself up, but the plane just wouldn't cooperate. What can you do, eh? The mechanics aren't entirely convinced by his story, but before they can take it further, the base suddenly comes under attack from a giant dinosaur thing that the
Shit,
locals
look how cool that
refer
looks.
to as Godzilla. Koichi jumps into his plane to take it on, but freezes up and ends up getting knocked out while the rest of the base is destroyed. Damn, this guy fails so often he should be the head of Lucasfilm by now. Anyway, with the war finally over, Koichi returns home to Tokyo to find it in ruins and his parents dead.
Wow.
Bad times indeed. Plagued by survivor's guilt and shame for his failure to do his duty, he takes on the dangerous task of mine clearance in Tokyo Bay and eventually hooks up with a young woman named Noriko, becoming a provider to her and the orphan girl that she's been caring for. 3 broken people in a broken country forming an unconventional family as they try to rebuild their lives. That's
And
nice
survive,
and all, but
yeah.
what's about Godzilla, you ask? Well, American nuclear testing in the Pacific just so happens to hit him with a massive dose of radiation, turning him from a big angry dinosaur thing into an even bigger and angrier dinosaur thing. Before
Right.
you know it, he's destroyed a bunch of American warships and he's headed for mainland Japan, and the Americans are like, sorry lads, can't help you with this one, the Russians might get angry at us.
Come on!
You know, I think the Russians would probably understand if a
Oh,
skyscraper...
did you see that? His plates when they light up the blue now, when he's about to do his atomic breath, I saw in the trailer that they actually kind of like jolt up a little bit, like like he's cocking it back. They actually come out a little bit more, like sing sing sing. It's kind of strange, but also really fucking unique and very well thought of. I'm like, wow, that shit looks amazing. I got to see this, man. And I heard that the atomic breath is atomic breath. Like the shit is no fucking force to fuck with. Like it's massive. I heard, and it's like it has like an explosion to it, where everything around it, even in like 50 feet from it, is exploding. Like it's a real atomic breath. So I was like, yo, I gotta see this.
Precise lizard was on the loose, flattening cities and sinking entire
how
naval
awesome that
fleets.
looks.
It really seems like this would be a good opportunity to team up and take it down, but whatever. The point is, Godzilla's on his way to Japan and he needs to be stopped. So Koichi and his crew improvise a weapon out of their minesweeper and manage to damage him, but it's not enough to stop him, and well, much carnage ensues before he finally gets bored and heads back out
Oh,
to
there it
sea.
is right there. That was the atomic breath. I just saw it. Yeah, I see how everything was exploding around it. Like that is atomic. Now that's atomic breath. That's what I'm talking about. Holy shit, dude. Yo, Hollywood learned from this.
For now, at least.
This is Godzilla,
The question
baby.
now is how to stop him before he comes back and kills more innocent people. But will Koichi and his ragtag group of soldiers and scientists find a way to put him down for good? Or will Japan face annihilation for a second time? The interesting thing about fictional monsters is that they usually reflect the deepest fears and concerns of the culture that invented them. Frankenstein was a reaction to the growing power of science and technology, allowing men to play God with life and death itself. Invasion of the Body Snatchers reflected the 1950s paranoia about communism infiltrating American society. And the 1954 Godzilla offered
is.
up a uniquely Japanese perspective on war and nuclear weapons, a country
Yeah.
still very much haunted by the shadow of
Yeah,
its
a lot of people don't know that. That's where the idea of Godzilla actually came from. It came from the idea of World War II, from the actions of World War II and the atomic bombs that the U.S. dropped on Japan. The idea sparked from that. That what if the radiation actually made a gigantic, massive creature that is, that just comes into our lands and just starts destroying us because of what we've been doing to each other, kind of shit. That's where the idea came from, because they noticed. I think it was a scientific discovery in Japan, like after the bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and stuff like that. I think they were discovering. I think that I can't remember the exact story I read, but they were discovering animals were getting larger and stuff like that, like a little larger, and insects were a little bit bigger because of the radiation and stuff like that. So they were like, the idea. That's where the idea sparked from. It was, what if a giant creature came from that, So yeah, that's exactly where Godzilla came from, and a lot of people don't even know that. But I'm a hardcore Godzilla fan. I love Godzilla. Like if I had the chance, I have my entire freaking home filled with Godzilla dolls and shit and action figures. I love Godzilla. I've always been a huge fan.
Its past and the devastating aftermath of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah,
it was
Nagasaki,
obviously
yep.
very potent at the time, but it did make me wonder how well it would translate into 2023. I didn't have to worry though, because Koichi is very much the glue that holds Godzilla's story together. A disgraced soldier struggling with the guilt of not doing his duty, of surviving when his friends gave their lives for their country, of having to live in shame rather than die with honor. His story is pretty much emblematic of what Japan was going through at the time, and by taking the focus away from the specific issue of nuclear weapons and putting it more on the universal cost of war, I think it offers up a perfect balance between the old and the new. Koichi's story runs the full spectrum from shame and guilt to bravery, heroism and redemption. It's a movie about the importance of family, duty, self-sacrifice, and finding a way to move on from failure and loss. Compare compelling themes like this to the bland, sterile, unengaging lumps of nothingness masquerading as human characters that we get over here, and you begin to understand why Western
And the entire emasculation of men, like literally just putting down men like as worthless, useless fucking tools in new movies. Like American movies are becoming shit. Like we were the top notch when it came down to entertainment. We've been that way since, I don't know, since the beginning of fucking filmmaking with cameras, with camcorders, okay? For the first moment cameras came out, we've been the top of filmmaking because we did legendary shit. Now we're just focusing on how cool my CGI looks, bro. You know, like, and look how cool this shit is. And in an entire female role who just takes lead and control of everything and is now the one that wears the pants. I mean, I'm all for the powerful woman role. We got a lot of that since I've been growing up too. We got a lot of that, but now it's like they're pushing an ideology of that shit, and it's really fucking up movies because now it's just doing nothing but emasculating men. The movies before this, all this shit was happening politically. With the female roles, they never emasculated men. They never had to do that. Okay, all they had to do was just show that she was a powerful woman, and that was it. Big deal. But now it's just like, I don't know, it's just fucking trash. Anyways.
Cinema is kind of fucked right now. And it's weird to be talking about this kind of stuff because compelling human drama isn't something I'd normally associate with a Godzilla movie, where the humans are often reduced to screaming civilians getting squashed while Big Lizard goes. Or stodgy-looking scientists delivering tedious exposition in dusty-looking briefing rooms. Or this guy just staring off into the distance and wondering why he took on such a shitty role in the first place. But Godzilla -1 cracks that magic formula of giving you a core group of interesting characters you're actually invested in, so that when Godzilla starts fucking things up, you genuinely care about whether or not they survive. This, my friends, is what we refer to as dramatic tension. All that being said, the monster scenes are still great fucking fun. There's a kind of epic destruction that you'd expect from a film like this, and plenty of ineffective military engagements with lots of big guns going boom.
Oh my god, it just keeps fucking glitching. This is so annoying. And frame skipping. I don't know why my PC is struggling to stream a video while I'm recording. It's been doing that lately. I don't understand why.
Good lord, this film may have the most devastatingly powerful atomic breath I've ever witnessed on screen. Also, I could be wrong here since I'm hardly an expert in Godzilla movies, but I think this might be one of the few examples to show Godzilla actually taking a lot of damage, compared to the older flicks where he just kind of shrugged off everything from artillery to rocket and missiles. The problem is that no matter how much they damage him, he just kind of regenerates like Wolverine in a matter of minutes. If I had to be super critical about the pacing, I'd say that the second half of the movie can drag slightly at times. Once Godzilla's made his first epic attack, there's a lot of planning and speculating about what to do next, and I feel like it could have done with getting trimmed down a little. The movie wants us to see him as a terrifying threat that has to be stopped at any cost, but if he's absent for so long that you begin to wonder if he'll ever show up again, the urgency of the situation starts to bleed away a little. I mentioned before that this movie was done on a budget of $15 million, which is fucking mind-blowing when you consider what it actually manages to accomplish. Is it visually perfect?
Right.
No, there's definitely moments where you can...
That's another thing too. The fucking budget was so low compared to Hollywood's budgets. Like, with this shit they've been fucking shitting out of their fucking asses into the diarrhea bowl of shit. $50 million, dude. $50 million? I mean, like, seriously. $50 million. And everybody's saying this was the best movie, the best Godzilla movie. Some people were saying this was the best Godzilla movie they've ever seen. And out of all the Godzilla movies, I think I gotta say my favorite one I've seen was definitely Godzilla 2000. That was actually my favorite one because I also loved his design in that one. But the way they filmed this movie and even their acting is definitely upgraded, like, big time. So people were like amazed at how well this movie was done. And Hollywood should take some fucking lessons that this is how a movie is done. You know, you write a story and you film the story, period, because you're telling a story. Like, you're not putting out political messages. You're telling a fucking story. Enough of that shit already with this stupid ass whatever agendas you have. Enough of that shit. We're tired of it. Make movies, for fuck's sakes.
Until they had to compromise on the visuals, because even with the best will in the world, there's only so much you can do with 15 million. But these moments are few and far between, and honestly, I didn't really care because I was so invested in what was happening that I was more than happy to overlook a few visual shortcomings. Because here's a crazy fact, ladies and gentlemen of Hollywood. If you give your audience a compelling story with likable characters, then you don't have to work so hard to distract them with flashy visuals because they don't need to be distracted. They're already having fun. Remember that? Remember when you were able to make good movies that didn't cost the GDP of a small African country? I certainly do. And if Godzilla -1 is anything to go by, then so does Studio Toho. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Oh, these fucking ads. I hate when ads pop up right after a video. But anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
2 billion monthly users.
He was definitely on it.
Makes it easy.
He was definitely on it. Everything I was about to point out, he definitely said too. So I don't think I need to mention it. Let me get here. Back to like right here.
Massive.
Yeah, I want to see Godzilla again. His design looks fucking amazing. I gotta say, he looks very, very Godzilla. Like this is Godzilla. But yeah, he nails it. He nails it. So that everything I was gonna say, I pretty much said during the video too, already. But it does look like, it does really look very fucking well put together and well done. And I just can't wait to see this. I gotta see this freaking movie already. I'm procrastinating. And we also got a new Godzilla movie coming out, the American version, of course. We got Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire, and to be honest, I don't even think that's gonna be near as good as this one. I don't think it's gonna be near it at all. I don't think so. But yeah, Godzilla -1 looks like this might be. It does to me right now, since I haven't seen it yet. It does look like it's gonna be the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. Like, holy shit. I'm seeing all the visuals already and shit and all the clips there that he's running through, and I'm like, damn, this fucking movie looks amazing, dude. He fights other monsters. I don't know what they are, but it looks like it's gonna be really fucking good fight scenes. That's for sure. Fucking A. But yeah, like he said too about how Hollywood's just, you know, shitting out shit constantly. Like, enough of that. Like I said, enough of that shit, bro. What happened to making movies, telling a story? Because that's what movies are. You're telling a visual story. It's like a book, but visually done. Fucking A. Make movies again. Fuck. But anyways, that's all I got for today. And by the way, shout out to Critical Drinker. You the man. Alright, so I'm done. Over and out.